Everyone, and especially to you. Literally the most hellos anyone has ever received is being directed at you right now. Hello. Welcome to another tiny wee history lesson in the form of this custom map I made for the game Cities Skylines 2. What map, Mr. Swan? Ladies and gentle ladies of Earth, today we are back in Sweden, and we have so little time to spend that there is, literally, not 1 second to waste. Let's go. Legend has it, back in the 1st century AD, the hammer-wielding, lightning-throwing Norse god Thor decided he needed a summer retreat. So he rolled up his sleeves and built Torsburgen. The result? A fortress that could withstand Ragnarok. Torsburgen, Thor's castle, is the remains of an ancient hill fort on the Swedish island of Gotland in the Baltic Sea. The fort is approximately 1.2 square kilometers. Torsburgen was originally built during the 1st century AD by disgruntled dwarves who'd been laid off from Middle-earth construction projects, but its significance didn't wane over time. Reinforced during the 4th century, evidence shows the site was inhabited for more than 1,000 years until the 12th century, when it was abandoned for unknown reasons. Situated on a plateau hill, it is protected by high cliffs and wall sections, almost 2 kilometers long. Scholars estimate that nearly 1,000 soldiers would have been needed to defend Torsburgen, and at one point it provided refuge to the entire population of Gotland, which in the medieval period was around 10,000 people and exactly 5 squirrels. In 1741, Carl Linnaeus, the famous botanist, swung by Torsburgen. Unfortunately, however, he famously got lost in the forest whilst hunting wild meatballs and was never seen again. The enclosed area on Torsburgen is almost twice the size of the land enclosed by the Visby city wall and follows the natural edge of the plateau. Very little archaeological work has been done on Torsburgen. Most of it is unexamined, meaning that most of its secrets are still buried underground. And I 1,000,000% guarantee there's a secret Viking hoard buried somewhere at Torsburgen. You'll see. I'm half tempted to go digging there right now just to prove it. I won't though, because of, the distance, and also probably because of some laws. Torsburgen is also the 3rd largest fortified hill fort in Scandinavia, with an area of 112.5 hectares. Plenty of space to hide treasure. Torsburgen isn't just a pile of stones, it's woven into the fabric of Gotland's history. In the Exodus story of the Gutta saga, the mythological history of Gotland, a third of Gotland's residents once temporarily settled themselves in Torsburgen after they were ordered by the local government to move because of overpopulation concerns. These residents were eventually forced to leave Gotland altogether. They subsequently settled in Greece, where they became the descendants of the Goths. Torsburgen also very famously hosted the first ever Great Viking Bake-Off. Contestants whipped up rune-shaped bread, mead-infused cupcakes, and Valhalla's best cinnamon rolls. The winner? Freya, the fertility goddess. Her secret ingredient? Unicorn tears. Anyhow, some of that was true, and some of it wasn't. You're smart, you'll figure it out. As always, these maps are made because I'm a giant history nerd, and this is basically my life now. I just spend all day nerding out over history. Meanwhile, my wife moans something about work and paying rent or something or other. If you'd also like to play over this wee bit of history, then follow the link in the description below to download the game map. I have turned my city into a dystopian paradise. There are no taxes, but also there are no policemen, because you can't have policemen if you don't pay taxes. The rich and famous flock here to this tax haven to live in their beautiful seaside villas, whilst the destitute and infamous flock here to take advantage of the rich. Meanwhile, my solitary prison receives no funding and the inmates are on constant day release with no curfew, just as long as they pinky promise not to do any more of that bad stuff. Drug use is sky high, but on the bright side, most of the homeless have been killed off. Another advantage has been less traffic, since even in this high-crime criminals' paradise, less police means less police cars, and this city has zero, which is useful to the citizens, as they desperately rush to get home as quickly as possible before it gets dark and someone stabs them. Anyhow, that's just my city. You play it your own way. Before I give you the map information, I must let you know about my wife, who is screaming at me right now to remind you that if you don't subscribe, then she won't stop screaming loudly into my ear while I'm sleeping. She used to just play white noise at me, but I think she annoyed herself in the end as she couldn't sleep also. So now she wakes up instead just to scream right down deep into my ear holes. She does it every time one of you doesn't subscribe. She says she won't stop. It's kind of impressive, like every single night she sets her own alarm to quietly wake herself up, for no other reason than so she can loudly scream into my ear. She's like a banshee. Then she laughs herself back to sleep whilst I lie there, shaking, trying not to have a heart attack. So please help, I just need a good night's sleep, please. Anyhow, enough of that. Maybe you'd rather have some map information. That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Well, here it is. Theme, European. Climate -13 to 24 degrees Celsius. Latitude Northern Hemisphere. Buildable area 70%. Outside connections, road, rail, sea, air, power, natural resources. Wheat 56.1 square kilometers. Forest 194 kilotons or 75.2 kilotons. Oil 60.9 kilotons. Terrain mostly flat with some very small medium hills. Thank you everyone for watching. But our time is at an end because this is when the video ends also. So that is all for Gotland. I hope to see you again next time. Remember to tip your Valkyries and may your longships never leak. Good night, Gotland. And good. Bye.